Hi, so we're into session 6 of your couch to gym. 3 movements today. Reiterate again, the focus is on the breath work and the pelvic floor, how we breathe and how we engage our pelvic floor when we're moving through these movements. Today it's a new movement at the beginning. Number 1 is a new movement and it's called the split squat. So this is now us being ready to take our weight across a different base. So in our squat position, when we're squatting on a chair, we're taking our weight down into the seat and we're sitting back, activating the glutes and the hamstrings. It's the same here. I'm going to, for this first movement, I'm going to challenge you to just breathe through your nose, in and out through your nose, okay? So we're going to do nasal breathing and we're going to do 6 reps on each side. So it's a split squat. So from here, I'm down into 1 foot forward. I want to keep that knee over my heel. Okay, sorry, that visual is not great. Just push you back a little bit. So I want to keep my knee over my heel here. And then I'm coming down. I'm going to use the sofa to give me a little bit of support when I start this movement. Okay, I want to keep the back heel high. So my back heel stays nice and high. I don't want it to drop down into the floor. Okay, that's me training my heel and my calf and my hamstring, and my glutes are active. And then I'm keeping that shin in a vertical position as I go down. And then I can start to let go. Okay, just to show you the other way. Again, keeping that back heel high. I don't want this knee dropping in here either. So I'm trying to keep it over the heel, and then I'm coming up and coming down. You can vary the height, so you don't have to go to the floor on those with the back knee. If you can, great, but there's no rule. We only go as far as what feels comfortable and where you know you're going to get your 6 repetitions from, okay? So during that whole thing, we're going to do nasal breathing as well. It's a lot to kind of get in tune with, but once you start, keep that going with that nasal breath. Okay, the next movement is going to be simple pelvic floor breathing. So we're going to bring you back to the floor, give you a chance to like reset this position and just have a play. So I'm going to do it here with you. So back to the floor. I'm going to go hand on my tummy and hand on my chest, just check in. Can I get this tummy breathing going quite quickly? Because my heart rate is up, I'm wanting to use my chest, so I'm going to try and take it back to my tummy. Now I'm going to bring my fingers around my rib cage, trying to expand my rib cage as I breathe in. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be conscious of my pelvic floor. So I'm going to draw up my pelvic floor as I'm exhaling. And on the inhale now, we should be relaxing the pelvic floor. So it's important that we know we can relax the pelvic floor, because a relaxed muscle you can train. If our pelvic floor is too tight, it'll be harder to activate it and harder to train it, and it's counterproductive. So a good signal for that is if you go to the toilet and if it takes you 30 seconds to a minute to release and go to the toilet, that might be a sign that we've got some sort of tight pelvic floor. If you're finding it really hard to relax the pelvic floor through the breath, again, just with a little bit more practice, just see, can you do that? So for you, you might need to spend more time on the relaxation than the actual activation. If you've got that already and you know, I can relax the pelvic floor and I can draw up the pelvic floor, it's now just about repetition in your movements, okay? The next thing I'm going to do is going to layer a little bit onto that in terms of breath work. So we're going to draw an imaginary box on our back from here all the way down to our hips, and then there's the bottom of my hips. So that's my imaginary box. It's below my bra strap or just on my bra strap, all the way down to the kind of low cut bit of your trousers. And on my exhale, I'm going to draw my pelvic floor in. I'm going to pay more attention to my back passage now. I'm going to use that back passage breath in to press my lower back into the floor, or my box into the floor. So from here, taking a breath in, Sorry, taking a breath in and then drawing up through the pelvic floor and pressing my lower back or my buttocks into the floor. Release everything and then go again. Okay, by simply pressing that box into the floor, you're activating your core. You'll feel it happening. And then you're activating the whole cylinder. So I'm not trying to just work on my abs. I'm trying to activate through the whole cylinder, but at the same time being in tune with my pelvic floor. Okay, what you're starting to do there is to create a pressure, a manageable pressure around your cylinder or your core area. I call it a cylinder. Because then when we start to add weight to your movements, you're able to stabilize through your core and strengthen from the inside out. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to strengthen from the inside out, know that we can activate our pelvic floor so that we're not pressing down pressure on the pelvic floor when we add weight or when we add an explosive movement later on and so on. So there are your 3 movements. 10 to 12 reps again is fine. If you would need to do less or need to do more, just make it, fit it into your life, whether that is 6 minutes, whether that is 12 minutes or 20 minutes, you make that work for you. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next session.